What's going on, guys? O Mixed with the undefeated 8-0 Buggy deck list. This deck performed exceptional tonight. I took some advice from you guys in chat, so shout out to you guys for throwing in some really spicy tech cards. You know who you are. Shout out to them. Shout out to you guys for even wanting me to play this deck. And not only did we win, we won a Sabo and the winter pack. I'll let you guys find out later what we pulled because it's insane. This deck, I never thought I would get a locals win, bro. I mean, we had some really strong decks tonight. A lot of purple Luffy. There was also a BY Luffy. I didn't run into him, thank goodness. But really strong decks tonight, and yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see those matches and let me know what you guys think about this deck.
Really strong decks.
Also, we had some spice with a little bit of nice. But here's the deck list, guys. Without further ado, we have 4 Mr. 3. It is your Searcher. It searches Cross Guild or Baroque Works. I cannot exercise how important that is for this deck. It gets all your puzzle pieces, finds everything you need. Best possible Searcher you could run in this deck.
What were you on originally? Were you on 3 originally?
No, I was.
So you were on 4?
I've been 4 religiously. Now our next Searcher, you might find this a little bit surprising. We are on 2 Cross Guild from the original 3. I don't want to see this card. I'd rather see it out of life, honestly, than actually hard casting it. It feels so bad having to commit Dawn to this because there's just other things I'd rather commit Dawn to, if I'm being completely honest. If I were to redo this deck and enter this tournament again, these would be 2 2K counters, bro. Because I was lacking in the 2K counter department, but I was also cycling, and you'll see the amount of cycling we're doing through those matches. But speaking of cycling, we are on 2 Island now. From the original 3.
Yeah, I remember in the last video, this was something that you said that you would cut down probably to 2.
Right.
I remember suggesting to cut it down as well because I think it's a break and you really only need to see the 1.
Yep. I really did want to see in certain matchups, I really did want to cycle my deck. This card's like a gray area, honestly, for me. I want to see more of it, but at the same time, like, I don't. If it just happens to mesh with the deck, it just happens to mesh with the deck, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really looking for it unless I really need a cycle, right? Like, this is like a cry for help. So I guess in theory, I could cut this and add a 2K. But I'm really not a fan of the cross guild event searcher, honestly. Let me know what you guys think in the comments because I'm just not a big fan of it. We are on 3 peel-off. Honestly, this could be bumped to 4 peel-off and 3 stage, and I'd be totally fine with that. So that's also something else I could be looking at. Peel-off. Draw 2, I see out of life, I cackle, and I feel like a little kid because I get pot of greed in life. 2 Doflamingo still, this has not changed. I think this is a good ratio. What are your thoughts on the Doflamingo?
I didn't know you were on 2, but when I watched you drop double Doflamingo, so spoiler alert, in one of his matches, he dropped double Doflamingo. Like, he played Doflamingo, stacked his top of his deck, and then played a Josu to bounce the Doflamingo back, and then the next turn he just played double Doflamingo, and I didn't know he was on 2, so that makes that play even crazier.
That play was insane, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This card's kind of fun. In this deck, it works.
I think it's alright. I think it's, me personally, I think it's a good card in this deck only because, like, you can, if you don't have any cards set up to play, you can, like, cycle draw 2 cards, or like play this and then cycle and then know the 2 cards you're gonna draw.
Right.
I like this combo in general. Like just play this and then draw 2
Right.
2 cards that you know that you want to stack. So like 2/2Ks or whatever, and then you still know your next 3 cards. So.
Exactly. No, 100%. We are on 3 Kabaji. Could be bumped to 4 instead of a cross skilled.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It's just a 2K. I have gotten into situations where I cast it off of the Croc and then establish a 10 cost Buggy. Don't forget the on KO. This can't be KO'd by battle. They can only pop this or bounce it or bottom deck it. I think that's another thing that a lot of people do forget maybe while playing this deck, including myself, is that it will not die through a swing, which is super cool. It's a plus. Call me crazy, but we're on 2 Mohi. It needs to be bumped up. It searches out the 1-up Richie in our deck. So if you're going for a Hail Mary and you just cast this, looking for a blocker to play, it's cool in that aspect. If you're only playing Richie.
I assume this is just really used as a 2K,
yep.
like 90% of the
But
time.
everything in this deck, in hindsight, could be a potential playable card if you're really not seeing what you need to see.
I mean, it's also a 5 cost body, so you can play it out as 5 cost body off your leader, and then play a 10 cost Buggy.
Yep, exactly. Having just a lot of 5 cost bodies, not having to commit to Buggy effect to trash a card, you just hard cast it and then you Buggy effect if you just need to play a body just to fill in the gaps, and you'll see that in the videos that I do that a lot. We're on 2 Alvita. I didn't run into a lot of black. I don't think it would have mattered too much. I think they would probably still play around the Alvita, but it's a card they have to respect. So I think keeping it at 2 is
She's
still
on KO.
Yep.
If your leader has cross skill, play up to 1 character with a cost of 5 or less. So
Yep.
basically, you get to replace her.
Exactly. If you have a decent hand size, they'll respect this card because they're like, damn, he's obviously got a 5 cost to play off the effect. So Alvita is very nice, and she's also a 5/6.
I think a 2-of is fine, just in case for your black matchup. So they have to respect that body on the board.
Exactly. Mr. 2. Let me tell you about
This
Mr.
card
2.
put it to work in the finals, guys.
So, against Nami specifically, this card says no to the Kaya and no to the Badoodle. So Badoodle, if you guys don't know, is a on KO blocker that mills Nami's deck. This card alone can out that, as well as the Kayas. So Mr. 2 is literally the MVP of the Nami matchup, in my opinion. You want to search this card, you want to find it, you want to hard cast. I found out what this card effect actually did. It was just a 2K counter and a 5/5 body for me. Crazy effect. Look into it. It is insane. Shout out to the comments section. Do you know what that is?
I
That
just
is a
know that he's a
5
blocker.
That is a 5/6 searchable blocker that is able to be played off of Crocodile. This is the new tech of the deck. Also, the on block could come up if you have if your opponent has a board that's wide, and I personally wouldn't recommend putting a Don under and using the effect. He's more just a 5/6 blocker that you can play off of the Croc. Honestly, this might be going to floor. This was so crazy, bro.
So the funny thing is, it's like the effect. I don't know if you used it against Nami, but they don't really attack too much.
Right.
But like on block, he does bottom Vector Kaya, bottom Vector Badoodle with that too. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. If I would have established this early, I think it would have been kind of crazy. They have to respect this effect. So yeah, in the Nami matchup, you're right. It's also quite insane. We are on still. Oh wait, no, sorry. We were on 4 Mr. 1 before. Now we're on 3. I cut him down because I just feel like there's a lot of other cards I'd rather be playing, and this feels kind of bad into Shanks. My main reason. This might get bumped up into set 10 if whenever I do pick this deck up and revamp it, and as the deck evolves, it might go back to 4. I like it at 3 right now. I think 3 is the correct number. Draw 2, trash 1.
And is he's just a 1K counter?
He's also a 1K counter, which is super sick. Searchable off of your Mr. 3. That is 9 times out of 10. If I see that, I'm grabbing him. If I already have Croc in hand. If I don't have Croc in hand, I'm adding Croc off of this. We are on 3 Ace. This card is kind of sick. It takes the place of like 5/6 blocker, and it filters your hand. This card is insane in the deck. Wouldn't even mind seeing it at 4 because it's just so good. Draw 2, and then you can bottom deck 2 cards or top deck 2 cards, and that's very important. If you don't want to get rid of certain cards, like say you want to keep a bunch of counter in your hand, and then you want to draw for turn your big body.
It's not even just draw for turn. Like if you already have a stage established,
you put
the 2 cards on top, and then you just redraw the 2 cards. You put 2 random cards that you didn't want in your hand anyway to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, or just keep the hand still the same.
Yeah,
just establish the blocker.
Or next turn play peel off. Draw the 2 cards.
There's no downsides of casting this card. It feels so good when you can.
It's also another 5-drop body that you can play, so it helps get your buggies out too.
Exactly. We are still on 2 Jozu. I think this number is correct. If somebody begs to differ, I would like to hear an argument. I didn't want to see it too much, and it felt really good when I did see it. Yeah. Jozu, bounce 1, you're bouncing your, like in today's tournament, I bounced the Doflamingo, and
like I said, you'll see it.
It's insane. The combo that I did with Jozu, it's insane. We're on 4, Mihawk, draw 2 trash 1, 6/7 blocker.
I'll be honest with you, that's the best card in the deck.
You think so?
100%. Bro.
Yeah?
It's a 6/7 blocker.
Okay.
6/7 blocker that filters your hand.
You know how many times I trashed this card though? Just because it's non-count. I mean,
realistically, my opinion,
it's really strong. I won't disagree with you. Honestly, I feel like the best card in the deck is this.
I was about to say, actually, the best card is Croc.
Is Croc, yeah. So getting to the Croc, we are on 4 Croc from the 3. We had to bite the bullet. We're still waiting for our Altar Croc. Croc, play out a 5 or less cross guild, and I don't need to really explain much more. This card is insane in combination with Croc Effect. You want to see it, you want to open it, you want to play it to go wide so you can establish the 10 cost Buggy. Now, I've been talking to some people and kind of like Jimmy Neutron Frame Blasting, maybe going back to 4. It's a Buggy Red Rock in the deck. It's an inherent Red Rock.
For 5 too, and it's 1 done less than an actual Red Rock.
Exactly.
I mean, personally,
I could see
the argument for 4.
Yep, I can see an argument for 4.
I think personally, if I was playing this deck, I'd be playing 3.
Yeah.
Like you want to see the card, you want to establish it, but because you're establishing, in my opinion, because you're establishing so many like other 5 cost bodies, and if you're ahead, you know, you can just start swinging those 5 cost bodies, not caring.
Exactly.
This card, to an extent, it seems like a win more card. Because if you see this in tandem with any of these 5-drop bodies, and you see it twice, it's like playing purple Luffy.
Exactly, and seeing 2 Luffy Taros.
Yeah, exactly. And seeing 2 Luffy Taros, establishing 2 bodies. But your bodies are actually bigger than Luffy Taros because they can only play a 4 cost, I believe. No, they can play 5, sorry.
Yeah, they can play 5.
Yeah. But still,
it's just Sanji.
Regardless, yeah.
9 times out of 10
they can only play Sanji or they're only playing
Zoro.
Sanji or Zoro. Yep. 9 times out of 10.
9 times out of 10, yeah. If they're desperate, they're playing the
1-drop, they're playing the Nami or the 1-drop wall.
Yeah. So we're on the 1-ofs of the deck. We are on 5 1-ofs of the deck. I know that's kind of much, but hear me out. We run a lot of bricks in the deck. Gum Gum Rain. I think this is such a good card late game. You want to cycle into it because you're going to be cycling a lot and you're not always going to know what's on top. So you might get a dead card in hand and you're like, damn, I just need 1 counter or 1 non-counter and then whatever. And this card literally just is so nice. Yeah, plus 3,000. I'd never triggered it out of life. It's always just a 0 cost event. Yeah, and that's pretty much for Gum Gum Rain. We're on a 1 of Kaya. This is like, Kaya is like a cry for help. If I am early in a game and I kind of just want to filter my hand early, I'll play it in tandem with Jozu because I can bounce the Kaya back off the Jozu as well. I don't want to play more of it. I mean, I could go to 2. Like I said, this is probably going to get cut. I'm going to do a lot of testing with cutting these cross guilds and filling in the puzzle pieces. I think the deck needs more 2Ks. And yeah, that's basically it. We are playing a 1 of Richie. This card is funny because it's literally just a blocker. It's searchable both ways.
Searchable, and you can just play it out when you're falling behind and it'll protect you. Because you're already playing 4, 6, 8, 11, 12 blockers all together now.
So this is super funny on 7 Dawn turn. If you already went wide and you went sideways,
and you don't have a croc, obviously.
You're going to be going sideways on your 7 Dawn turn. And if you end up playing 2 crocs, you have a full board and you just drop the Richie for 2 Dawn. So you're protecting whatever, and then it's basically solidifies dropping a 10 cost Buggy on your follow on your 9 Dawn turn. You could potentially, if you combo correctly. So I don't know. It's really funny in my opinion. I like it. It's a tech card. Obviously, you can filter out your tech cards where you want it, but this is funny for me. We are on the card that I won today. The one, the only pudding. Thoughts on 1? Probably should go to 2.
I told you too, bro. 2.
Probably should play 2 of this card.
Realistically, the argument would be to cut this for another pudding, cut this for a 2K.
Yeah. I'm down. I'm totally down in the future for 2 pudding, 2 Kaya. And that's probably going to be the future.
The argument for me is one of your harder matchups is going to be BY.
Yeah.
I've been saying it since BY has come out. It's, in my opinion, the best deck.
Right.
It just won Nationals.
Yeah.
Your hardest matchup is probably going to be BY.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, there's a lot of hard matchups.
There's a lot.
So let's be real. But one of your really, really hard matchups is BY.
Yep.
And Pudding kind of poops on BY sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time. I personally have played around it. So especially against like Nami and Dofi, who play it a lot.
Imagine I know you.
I played against a weird Nami who was playing 4 of this.
Wow.
At one point, yeah.
Wow. Insane.
And he tried to, and I typically the matchup between Nami and BY, Nami usually wins, but I ended up winning the match even though I played 2 pudding on it.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the original point. I would probably up it to 2.
To 2. Yeah. So, yeah. Like I said, this is all what worked for me in today's tournament. I was happy with it. Wasn't like, damn, my deck's not decking. My deck was decking, and you will see that very clearly in the uploads. And we're on, last but not least, a 1 of Gum Gum Red Rock.
I disagree with this card.
Didn't see it at all. Didn't use it. Didn't play it.
I completely disagree with this card. 100%.
Just playing it in the deck in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
7 drop the
Gravity Blade. Yeah.
Better.
Yep.
Like I get getting rid of big bodies.
That's
what this guy does.
This is mainly for Shanks, but I get it. I get that's
what
why
that guy does.
Yeah, I get it. That's why it's
this is good against Shanks, but
yeah.
I mean,
if I don't,
that's what that guy does.
If I don't want to like sack a Buggy and I'd rather just bottom deck it and then just swing big number.
Yeah, I get it.
That's why it's just a tech. It's a tech option. There's gonna be a lot of those with this. I feel like this blue version of the deck is a very toolboxy version of a Buggy list. But this is the list that won today. And yeah, do you have any questions for me?
I mean, what were your matchups?
So finals was Nami. I took it because the MVP right here. Very.
Listen, my guy didn't know how to play against Dami. He's looking at me like, how do I play against this thing? I had to hype this man out and let him know how
A
to
little
play
bit.
against
He was. I'll give it to him. He was the hype man behind the Nami match. I will 100%.
Like, you got this. He's
Yeah.
freaking out like he doesn't know how to play against it. And, I mean, look, you want to stop him. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. The other match was Purple Luffy. That match was very difficult. I had to see this guy in order to keep up pace with the Luffy Taros. He ripped my hand, went Luffy Taro. I had to answer this or I just lose. You need to see Croc in that matchup. However you need to find him. Prioritize. If you don't, like, I should have never mulliganed my hand because once I mulliganed, I didn't have Croc and I was like, damn, that's really the only reason why I should have kept my hand. It was a bad decision. I immediately regretted it. Find this guy in the purple.
The purple Luffy that you ended up playing, I should have beaten him in the first place.
Yeah.
But your boy didn't see what he needed to see playing red green law, so
It happens. So my third matchup was red yellow Sabo. That match was very, very close. That is where I did the combo.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it already, go watch the match. I'm not even going to tell you. Just go watch the match if you haven't seen it already, because I'm sure a lot of people are just looking at the list and don't really they just want to go and look at the deck list and then play it. Watch. I don't like really promoting myself, but go watch that match specifically. If you guys are watching this, go watch that red yellow Sabo match. It is against a very, very strong, in my opinion, One Piece player. He does exceptionally well in online tournaments. He does exceptionally well here. He's probably, arguably one of the best rogue players in our locals. And he's very strong. That's one of his strongest decks is red yellow Sabo, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's one of the only players who's beaten me a decent amount out of everybody here.
Exactly. He's nobody to sleep on.
But he usually only beats me when he plays meta. But he's still a really good player. He just likes to have fun, so he's been playing red yellow Sabo for the last 3-4 weeks. So.
Yeah, very exceptional player. I wouldn't take that away from him because he is a very good player. Anyways, in my first round was Perona against my boy, my buddy, Dom. If you guys want to see that deck list, I will 100% do a deck list video for his Perona list because it was exceptional. The deck was just not helping him today. But he plays. Dom is just a really well-rounded player as well, or Pasta, I should say. He's a very exceptional player. The deck just literally was not blessing him with anything hand-wise or playability-wise. And I capitalized on it. I went wide very fast. It still came down to the wire. It still had to be me being efficient and praying, really. But yeah, so we got Perona, red yellow Sabo, purple Luffy, and Nami were the wins today. All of those matches, I would say, were nothing to sleep on.
He got lucky to play me because another spoiler alert, we played a bonus match afterwards. Whoop that ass.
He did. He did spank me. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy this video. Drop a like and comment if you would like a updated list in the future, or maybe a troll list. I might do a troll list with just some nonsense. Who knows? This deck has been a lot of fun, and you guys have been really enjoying it. And I hope you guys take care.